All right, welcome everyone. It is kickoff webinar time. Love Yourself to Health Challenge is starting on Monday. I guess it's kind of starting tonight, right?
Yeah, and we love this challenge more than any other challenge.
So true. This is our most popular challenge.
Absolutely.
Because, I think that there's so much of us, so many of us who really want to work on mindset, who want to have a better outlook, have a better relationship with our bodies, with our health, instead of that tug of war or that yo-yo cycle that so many of us get caught in. So we're excited. We're excited to kick off the Love Yourself to Health webinar. And it starts on Monday, you guys. So today is Thursday, January 27th. Starts on Monday, and it's a 2-week challenge and ends on Valentine's Day, which is fitting because we're loving ourselves to health. You don't need a date for Valentine's Day. You are your date, okay? If you have a date, that's okay too. All right, so I want you to find the chat feature again. Some of you put where you're coming from in the chat feature, but this time I want you to drop in the chat. If you are a client or coach of Optavia, I would love for you to drop in the chat the biggest blessings Optavia has brought into your life. Maybe you have lost some weight. Maybe you have ditched some meds. Maybe you have found some more purpose in life. Better mindset, better health, friendships, more energy. Oh, they're going so fast. I saw 40 pounds down. I saw emotional management community. Ooh, 91 pounds down. Way to go.
I was on a Zoom earlier this afternoon with a client who's been on program for a few months, well, for quite a while, and she's kind of come back and she's refocusing on her health. And she made the decision last night that she was going to join us as a coach. And so we were just kind of celebrating her and getting her started as a coach. And I asked her this same question. And she said, she kind of took a second. She's like, the first thought that came in my mind was Optavia saved my life. But she's like, but I was just thinking about that. And she's like, it didn't save my life. It gave me my life. Right? She's like, I've lived for so long less than I was capable of, physically, mentally, emotionally, all these things. And we've seen that a lot over the last several years.
Absolutely. So for some of you, you aren't a client or a coach of Optavia, and that's okay. We welcome you as well. Whatever eating plan or thing that you're wanting to do with this challenge, we are so glad that you are here and that you are wanting to focus on improving your health. So let's dive right in. The name of this is Love Yourself to Health. So how about let's talk about the opposite of that for just a little bit. Do any of these sound familiar? When I lose weight, I'll be happy. When I'm thinner, I'll be confident. When I get control of my eating, I'll love myself. A lot of times we get caught in some of these mindsets. Yeah, you can raise your hand or you just blink because we've probably all gotten caught in some of these before, right? Or we get caught on there's a picture of the scale on the screen right now. We get caught with tying our worth or our value to a number that shows up that really is just how our body is in relationship to the gravitational pull of the earth. Did you know that you weigh a different amount on the moon? Just a fun fact, you guys. But let's dive into this a little bit more. Your love of your body, your worth as a human, your value in this world. I just want you to take a deep breath. I believe this 100%, you guys. You are 100% loved. You are 100% worthy. Just not by other people, but within you. You as a person, you have individual worth, no matter what you weigh, what you do, what you accomplish. You don't need to prove anything. You have that worth. That is within you as a human on this planet. I believe this 100%. You need only accept the gift.
However, there's another side of the story, right? in the world that we live in today, Amber and I were having this conversation the other day. It's largely become unacceptable to push people, to say you're capable of more, right? And it's not about creating the more equals more worthiness, more love, or anything like that.
It's a different column.
It's a totally different column.
Here's the creation column. And you get to have fun creating stuff in your life, you guys.
How many of you remember when you were a little kid and you just got like new Legos or the Erector set, or you're playing in the sandbox or whatever like this, and you just start putting stuff together?
Lincoln
Logs, right? We're dating ourselves.
I know, we're old.
And I didn't have the cool Legos. It was just like the bundle of like multicolored Legos and stuff. There was no picture on the outside of the box that says you can make a spaceship out of this, right? It was just, you used your imagination to create whatever you could put those little Legos together and make, right? And it didn't look very good most of the time.
Well, and we probably, as children, we didn't, like, after we made our Lego creation, we probably just like threw it and like broke it apart. Yeah. We didn't say, oh my goodness, look at that Lego item, I am a terrible person. Or we probably didn't. We just knocked it over and then we went outside. So it is two different, completely different columns. Your worth, your worthiness is one column, and what you can create is another column.
I was just, when you said that, you're like, you don't really think about if it wasn't that good, you would just like break it and start over. The most popular class in my junior high was a wheel class. Like pottery.
Okay, I was like, wheel.
Okay, so it's like the movie Ghost, you know,
yes.
Like the whole. Okay,
don't sing the song.
I won't sing the song. It. So when I first started on this wheel, it was like, why is my clay just wobbling around? And it's always, I didn't get mad. None of the kids got mad. They thought it was funny because most of the time you have too much water or not enough water, or you're spinning your wheel too fast or whatever. And it just became a joke, right? And then as the semester went on, you got better and better. Yeah, Jen's like, center it. Well, you can't put it on the side.
All it means is that you haven't developed that skill.
Yeah.
Of the wheel. Like, that's really all it means. It means nothing about you as a person or how worthy you are. So I want you to think about what you want to create. You join this challenge, so you might have some health goals, but just take a minute. What do you want to create? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to make a sculpture on a wheel? Do you want to increase your fitness? Whatever it is, I want you to just separate that from what that means about you and your worthiness. And I love this quote from Adam Miller. He said, wanting to be loved is good. Wanting to create is good. Wanting to be loved because of your creation spoils both. It sucks the freedom from love and the joy out of creation. Love is a gift, never a reward. And I got my little conversation hearts here up on the screen. Love, you got your love conversation and your creation conversation. So how do we apply this? Because this is a great concept, but I want to give you guys some tangible ways to apply this. So on the left, this is our love column. Love your body as is right now. Have you guys ever heard that? You just need to love your body right now. Okay, I actually believe that. I think right now, how you are right this second, you can love your body. And I'm going to ask you some questions and I want you to think about your answers in your head. And you can put them in the chat if you want, you don't have to. But what can I love and appreciate about my body right now, as is? What's really cool about you? Maybe you have beautiful eyes. Maybe you have amazing thick hair. You guys, I used to have such thick hair before my brain surgery. I still cry about it to this day. It's okay. I still have hair. My dad cannot say the same thing. Okay. So what can you love and appreciate about your body right now? Oh, I love these in the chat. My body is strong. I love my legs. Wonderful smile. makes it possible to take care of my family. Cancer-free. Way to go, Shanna. Keep them coming. Okay. How has my body been a vehicle for goodness? This goes right along. Birthed healthy children. I love that, Andrea. I can breathe without thinking. Amy Miller.
Oh my
Amen.
gosh. Could you imagine how stressful life would be if you had to think about breathing or making your heart beat?
Seriously.
Or blinking or anything like that?
When you just blinked, you thought about it, didn't you? Okay, here's another question for you. What happiness do you experience because of your body right now, today, without achieving any of your goals? Sports, I love that. Yep, movement, possibility for change. Oh, that's good, Jessica. Family time, peace. Can play with my kids. Oh, I love that. Okay, so good. Hiking, nature. All right, there's so many things we can love and appreciate about our body right now, no matter what. Now let's go to the other column, the creation conversation. We can create whatever we want. Let's assume you want to create healthy results. So let's go. What if you can increase your energy? What if you could fuel your body with good nutrition, build strength and muscle, remove some dangerous fat storage that might be harming your body or having your numbers go in the wrong direction? What if you could manage stress in healthier ways? So I want you guys to start thinking about your creation conversation heart.
And isn't it interesting sometimes that when we attach something to our bodies, it creates this unnecessary shame. Like, oh, I want to change my body because I don't have great energy. I'm starting to develop some dangerous risk factors like high blood pressure, higher cholesterol, some other things, right? But imagine like your yard. When we first moved into our house 5 years ago, we just had an acre of land that we're like, what do we do with it?
We had a bunch of sunflower weeds.
Yeah, we had a lot of beautiful sunflower weeds. They were not good. But we had this idea, we're like, and our whole family, the two of us, all three of our kids, we all love volleyball. So we're like, we're going to put in a sand volleyball court. We didn't say, oh, sand volleyball court, like we shouldn't want that. We should put in a basketball court instead of a volleyball court, or we should put in a garden here instead of this. No, you just want what you want and you go create it. But when we do that with our bodies, oftentimes we allow ourselves or other people to say, I like that one. Yeah, we're putting in pickleball courts too. We allow ourselves or other people to sabotage us and say, no, you shouldn't want that, right? Or that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's not like Amber just said, it's a totally different column. What you want to create and what you're basing your appreciation of yourself and your love for yourself are two totally different things.
Absolutely. They just happen to be like connected. You and your body, it's a partnership. And if you treat your partner really well, your life is a lot better, I just have to say. So, okay, let's keep going. Who wants to move to Planet Perfect? Okay, here's what Planet Perfect is, where there's no stress, nobody gets sick, you just have unlimited time and resources to just do what you want at all times. Okay, so this is Planet Perfect. All right, anybody? Yep, Tiffany's like, yeah, I want to live there. And Heather.
Do you know who lives there? A whole bunch of brats, right? That's when little kids, they get into this world where it's time to share. They're like, no, I don't want to share. They want what they want. And so if you're going to live on Planet Perfect, just know this, there's not going to be anybody else on your planet. So you're going to have to get used to living alone.
I know, it would be lonely because if everything, okay, you live on planet Earth. So Planet Perfect, that's not where we live. When you build a spaceship and go explore, you can find that planet, but welcome to planet Earth where we all live. Let's talk about that. Okay. There's going to be stress. Here we got this sad red cube and the medium yellow cube and the green happy cube. And there's like 100 emotions in between, right?
Yeah.
all over the place. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But there is this idea, okay, before I start asking questions, there is this idea that, boy, soon as I have less stress going on, then I can get healthy. As soon as stuff just settles down, it's just crazy, I'm too busy, there's too much going on, then I can focus. Okay. Again, don't raise your hand, just blink. We have all thought it, right?
Tony Robbins says that the biggest problem that exists in the world is that we all think that we shouldn't have problems, right? It's like, have you ever known two people with the same problem, the same challenge in their life, and one person just seems to just go with the flow and they get through it, and the other one just becomes mired down in the stress of life?
All the time.
Right? We always see that. We see that every single day. We see it on social media. We see it in our personal relationships every day. And the difference between those two people is the power in the meaning they give to that problem or that challenge.
Absolutely. So, okay, I want to introduce a radical idea to you guys. Okay, like if you're standing up, you need to sit down. If you're driving, just like pull over. Like, you need to be ready for this one, okay? Here is the radical idea. You can create anything you want in your life, even when all the crap is hitting the fan, even when it's stressful, even amidst the illness and the not enough time and not enough money and not enough resources. You can create anything you want to create in your life. Okay. And you're like, Amber, maybe you can, but not, I don't know. Like I need stuff to be like perfect in order to succeed. Okay. That is a limiting belief that is holding you back. Okay. I am going to ask you some questions right now. Here's some questions for you to consider. What if you could make healthier choices even during stressful times? What if, I told you I was going to give you some radical ideas, guys. What if the tough times actually cement the healthy habits? Bring it on, adversity. You guys, I am telling you, if you are saying, I want to make a lifestyle change, but every time life starts styling your way, you give up, it's not going to happen. Bringing on this adversity, bringing on the stress and the things that come your way, that's what you want. Because if you can withstand, if you can have your healthy habits, like power through, even through the stressful times, those are habits that are going to stick.
You know what people do when they go to the gym and they're pushing themselves? They put more weight on the bar. They create more resistance. More resistance creates more strength. Guess what? Some people, they quit. They're like, oh, I can't do it. Hopefully you have a spotter and some people, a coach, that coach is your spotter. A good spotter will put one finger or a couple fingers under the bar and just lightly pull it up, and they say, keep pushing. They leave the majority of the resistance on you. A spotter who doesn't care about your growth and your progress, they'll just grab the bar from you and pull it off.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. That is not what I'm saying. I don't want you to hear that at all, because guess what? Nobody. Welcome to planet Earth, right? And all of us imperfect people, we all live on planet Earth together. Here's the difference though. It's not about being perfect. It's about, okay, learning from what happened. Because a lot of people go, you know, okay, What happened? Whose fault is it? Who can we blame? What can we blame? Right? But instead, if you go, what happened? What was missing? And what's next? And we take these times where we slip and fall and we get up and we learn from it and we progress forward. Progress, not perfection. But when we slip and fall and we don't even think about it and we don't want to learn a thing, we keep going backwards. That's not progress, guys. Slips and falls are going to happen. It's the learning from it that makes the biggest difference. Okay, so let's talk. What would you guys like? Let me ask you this. Would you guys like to improve your skills when the stress comes up, when the emotions come your way? Would you guys like to improve that skill? Because it's a skill. Some people go, oh, I'm just born. You're born with it or you're not born with it, right?
Put a 1 in the chat thread if you've ever felt anxiety. Okay. Only one person. Oh, there's a bunch more. Okay. So everybody, just newsflash, everybody on planet Earth does everything at the level of anxiety that they can tolerate. Some people have a higher tolerance level. Why? Because they have more skills.
Yeah.
They know how to, they've learned something, they've developed in an area, and they've got a higher floor or ceiling or whichever, right? I don't know. So they push up against that. But once we push up against too much pressure, right? We've got this thermostat in our brain that says, oh man, I like it 70 degrees most of the time. It just got hot in here. It's 90 degrees. The AC kicked off and it's getting hot in here fast.
I don't mind 90 degrees.
Right? Yeah, Amber loves 90. I go spend my time in the basement where it's a nice 70. So that thermostat is set, and then so the AC kicks on. When it gets too cold in your world, the heat kicks on and warms you back up. Mm-hmm. All of us have this internally in our brains. And so the only way to be able to tolerate more anxiety is to develop more skills. Skills come through 2 avenues. One is support. You have coaches, you have mentors, you have friends, you have family, people who want you to create what you want. And then secondly is structure. Do I know the steps necessary to create that? Am I setting aside the time to go for a walk? Do I know how to plan my nutrition? Right? If you're talking about your physical health.
Okay, so we're going to give you some skills to handle some emotions that are coming your way, because emotions it's not good, it's not bad, it's just human. But if your emotions or the way you're handling them is causing some havoc in your life, it's not helping you create what you want to create, then you might want to look at it. So let's look at some common ways that people handle emotions that come their way. So eating, we're all on this, like we're doing a health challenge. So probably, if I were to guess, there are some of us on here who handle stress by eating. I'm just going to venture a guess. Okay. Other people, sleeping, drugging, drinking, blaming. Okay. There are some buffers that are more like disruptive of your life than others. Like if you're cleaning all the time when you have emotions, hey, at least you got a sparkling house. Or
if you're exercising, right? People will categorize these.
Swiping on your phone, you're just like, trolling Facebook. Anyway, but here's the thing. A lot of times people go, well, I hate my buffer, so I'm going to try a different buffer. I'm going to go from eating and then I'm going to take up smoking. Or boy, it's just so terrible. I keep spending all this money and Amazon boxes arrive at my house every day and I'm running out of money. I better switch to a different buffer. Okay.
The challenge with these is when we are engaged in these activities, we are human doings. We are not human beings any longer.
Yeah. We're going on autopilot.
Yeah. We can't, like there are far too few human beings on this planet. And one of our mentors a couple of years ago was talking to us about this. And he said, and he's been coaching people for 40 years. And he said, when people are engaged in all these buffers and they're not just being sad, lonely, angry, stressed, tired, excited, depressed, whatever the emotion is, and they can't just be that. And let's use eating as an example of people's favorite buffer. Sooner or later, usually sooner, it doesn't take very long, that person no longer knows the difference between hunger and sadness. This emotion sets in, oh, I'm sad. Oh, I must be hungry. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just like anything. It's like Pavlov's dogs, right?
Absolutely. So instead of just trading one buffer for another buffer, we want you to instead have a skill to be able to process your emotions. And I'll tell a quick story. When I was a kid, I used to babysit my little brothers all the time. And they were not allowed to eat in the TV room. Okay, there was carpet in there. And so, but my brothers always did. And I was the babysitter and I didn't want to deal with them. So I just let them do what they wanted to do. So inevitably, they loved ramen. Okay, the big noodles with all the broth, and they would bring this big bowl of ramen into the TV room, so they'd sit right on the carpet, and guess what would happen? They would spill it. They were little boys, right? And they knew, oh no, I'm gonna be in trouble. Dad comes home, mom comes home, they see this ramen, I'm gonna be in big trouble. So what would they do? Nope, they would not clean it up. They would go get a towel and they would put it on top of the ramen and run away. And then I would inevitably come into the TV room and see a towel on the carpet and know, great.
What's underneath there?
There is a mess under there. And I'd pick it up, ramen, gross, and I would have to clean it up because I was the babysitter, right? And so this is kind of like buffering. Buffering is the towel that you put on the ramen, but guess what? It's still under there. It's not cleaned up. And usually it's just one bowl of ramen onto another.
And it doesn't matter how many towels you put on top of it. It's not going away unless you clean it up.
So let's learn how to clean it up. 5 steps to processing emotion. I want to help you guys with this skill today. We're going to go through each one of these. So the first one is naming it. When you are feeling that emotion, whatever it is, here's a whole wheel. You can just Google this emotion wheel. This will come right up for you. But there are core emotions like anger, sadness, fear, joy, and then there are sub emotions from there. Did you guys know that jealousy is a sub emotion of mad? Or fascinating is a sub emotion of joyful. So the more that you can really dig down, drill down to what the actual emotion is that you're feeling, the better that you can feel that emotion and process it through. So the first one, let's go with anxiety because we used that one earlier. So let's say that you are feeling anxious, which is sub of scared. Then what is the first step is just say, you know what? I'm feeling anxious and scared. And that's step 1. Say it out loud, you guys. This works best when said out loud. The second step is locate it. Where am I feeling that anxiety in my body? A lot of times fear is in your belly, but you might feel it in other places. You might feel it in your throat or in your chest, but find it, scan your body. Where am I feeling that emotion, that anxiety?
Describe it. So you'll see a bunch of ing words here. Ing words are great descriptive words. Is it numbing? Is your heart pounding? Sometimes you get a pressing feeling in your head, in your eyes, tearing.
Yeah. Describe it out loud.
Describe it.
And then the next step is, do I want to shift it? And this is where you give attention to it. Some people misunderstand this step and think that this is the step where I make it go away because I don't like it.
You accept it. You just feel it.
Mm-hmm. You allow that to be there. It's like, I always say, I have some little nephews who were like, in the 2, 4, 6 years old range. And this is what they do. Like, auntie, Amber, Amber. And they're just going to keep like tugging on my pants or like hitting me or trying to get my attention until what?
Till you give it attention.
Until I give them attention. Our emotions sometimes are like my nephews. They are going to keep popping right up. It's like a beach ball. You're trying to push under the water in the pool, and then it's going to come back up. Okay. So as we give attention to those emotions, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're allowing it to be there. An emotion is emotion, energy in motion. It's energy that's in your body.
So this last one is one that people skip a lot, right? And Amber used the example of anxiety. Like, there is wisdom in every emotion. Anxiety, the core emotion is scared.
Fear. Yeah.
Fear, right? So why am I fearful? Most of the time, we're afraid of the unknown, right? So what wants to be known?
And I really love this question. It's actually a much better question than why am I scared? Because it's a totally different question. Because if you ask why, you're going to go to the thoughts of like all the things. But what we want to do is really get the wisdom from our bodies. What wants to be known? Or if you're angry, what wants to be stopped? If you're sad, what wants to be let go of? And these questions can be so powerful because your body is smart. Your body will sometimes pick up on things before your brain even notices them. There is a lot of intelligence that your body's sending you these emotions for a reason, so that you can learn that wisdom. It's what we talked about. When you slip and fall, you don't think about what you learned from that. Same with our emotions. There's a wealth of knowledge waiting for you.
So the interesting thing about that is when you know what wants to be known, and let's go back to the reason we're all here, loving yourself to health. Over the last 13 years that we've coached people, we've seen a lot of people who they don't set boundaries in their life, right? And this was a good example. What wants to be let go of? What wants to be known? These kinds of questions. And when they're not honoring their emotions and they're not loving themselves because, I'll love myself if and when I'm at a different place, other people will never treat us or honor us more than we do ourselves. They kind of mirror how we treat ourselves. Now, there are some cases where people are in a good place themselves, and
there's 2 or 3 mean people out there.
There's a few mean people. Earth. And the trouble is they travel around a lot, so you're always crossing their paths.
That's right. Okay, so are you guys excited for the challenge? Let's give you some challenge logistics. Okay, so I want you to have a really great challenge and get the most out of it. So the first question, do you have your app? If you don't have the app, it looks like this on the screen on your phone. Then talk to your coach about sending that, or check your emails, because I've been emailing all the challengers, unless you accidentally unsubscribe, because you'd never do that on purpose, right? You'll never unsubscribe from my emails on purpose. So make sure you have your app. That's going to help you to just have everything at your fingertips. It's not it's not a deal breaker if you can't figure out the app, but it's going to help you to stay on track. Okay. Fill out the join the challenge form. You have to fill that out in order to be eligible for prizes. That has a link right to the daily live Zoom. You can get on live every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific. Good morning, Pacific time zone. We're also going to stream it to the Healthy Together group, or you're going to find it right on the app. Has the playbacks button as well if you can't catch them live. But every day we'll have a 10-minute Zoom. Also on your journal tracker, you're going to see references to the life book. And if you don't have a life book, you can purchase one. You could get it through your coach, ask them how to get that, or there is a download of the first several elements that you can get for free. Okay, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the science behind micro habits, because we are utilizing this on your journal tracker. So the first thing is know what you want, and then set up your habit loop. So one of the check marks on the journal tracker is for water. Okay, I think probably most everyone, even on the internet, would agree that drinking water is a good thing. Let's all drink some more water. So let's talk about it. The habit loop, you want a cue, a routine, and a reward. So a cue for drinking water, maybe you have a giant water bottle that you carry around like me and Jared do. Maybe you need to set a reminder on your phone. Maybe you need to set it out the night before, whatever. You need the cue that reminds you. And then have a routine. Maybe you fill it up at certain times of the day, at your break at work, or after you brush your teeth, or, having that routine is so helpful. And then the reward is maybe that you're not thirsty. Maybe it is that you feel good about yourself, that you're making those steps in the right direction. And also making sure that you have enough consistency that over time you're creating that habit. On average, depending on the difficulty of the item, it takes about 66 days to install a habit. So if you miss a day, that's okay, pick it up tomorrow. But Dr. A says if you miss 3 days, you have broken that habit installation and you need to start from day one again. Okay. So don't go 3 days. Everyone misses a day sometimes. You forgot your water bottle. Don't go 3.
Well, and I want to just point this out, that if you miss 3 days and you start over on day one, you're still starting over from experience.
That's true.
Right? So don't shame yourself and say like, oh man, I'm back at ground zero, right? That's not showing yourself love. You're just saying, oh, showing yourself love is, oh, I learned something during this 3 days that I broke my habit. And what did I learn? What knocked me out of my routine?
Absolutely. And also the micro habit versus the plus. And we're going to go over that on the tracker in just a second. So here is your journal tracker. Make sure you print it. It's only 2 days, you guys. 2 days for the whole 2 weeks, or 2 pages. Sorry. Yeah. It's only 2 pages for the whole 2 weeks. So very small amount of writing. I promise you're going to be great. So let's talk about it. So fuel, water, and movement are what we're going to track daily. So fueling your body, we encourage you to eat every 2 to 3 hours. If you do that, you get a check. But if you're 100% on your plan, whatever plan you choose, we're not telling you what to do. You get to choose. You get a plus. And then water, if you fill up your water bottle, you get a check. If you drink all of your ounces that you're wanting to drink, you give yourself a plus. And movement, you get to set your own check. Maybe your check is putting on your workout shoes or your workout clothes. Maybe your check is 2 push-ups, whatever, something you can do even if you have the flu. Okay. You get a check, and then maybe you do your full workout. Maybe you go to your yoga class. Maybe you go on your walk around the loop around your neighborhood, whatever it is for you. Then you get your plus. And there's also just a quick little journal prompt every day. And most days have a reference to the life book, not every day. So the goal is write a few thoughts. There's a reason why this isn't electronic, digitally done through the app. That there's a reason why it's an actual piece of paper where you use an actual pen or pencil, because Science shows that you solidify neural pathways faster when you write.
When you think or hear something, about 10% retention. When you write something down, it's like, if I remember correctly, it's between 50 and 60%. And then if you teach it to someone else, over 90%.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Progress, not perfection, is what we're going for. Okay. So just to wrap up, we want to encourage everyone to do a health assessment with the coach who invited you to the challenge. If you have not done that already, it's so powerful to verbalize your goals, say them out loud, and then you're going to write them on your journal tracker. Again, neural pathways, we want to create these healthy habits for you. This is all part of the science, you guys.
And your coach is not there to slap cupcakes out of your hand.
Nope.
Or punish you for breaking a habit. Their job is to encourage, to give courage.
Exactly. And also to just witness you being accountable to yourself.
Yep.
And then there's the advanced program. Okay. The advanced program with Optavia, there's improved mindset towards health, first-class personal development. You are 500% more likely to reach and maintain your healthy weight. And the advanced program, AKA also known as helping other people. It's called coaching. And we need more people who care about the health of your community, of people in your sphere. So talk to your coach about that as well. So mark your calendar. Our next webinars are going to be on the 2 Wednesdays during the challenge. So Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, February 2nd and 9th. Those are our next webinars. Otherwise, we are going to see you guys on the daily live Zoom every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific. And those are also going to be found on the playbacks in your app. So do you have any wrap-up thoughts, Jared?
Well, I have lots of thoughts, but
that's true.
Yeah. As you get started, there's 2 really important elements of creating what we want. 1 is getting started, and 2 is finishing what you start.
And your health is never finished.
And it doesn't matter how much time it takes, as long as we keep going there. And what I've learned through coaching people for the last 13 years is the greatest love that is developed for self and the greatest love that is shown for self is people who just show grit. They just keep working at it.
Bring on the adversity.
Right? And I know that the adversity creates massive strength. I will say this, that we talk about micro habits. But I would hope for people that if you just want small changes in your life, just do small things and do them infrequently. You don't have to be consistent. But if you want radical changes, if you want your life to be really different, then think about radical things. Make radical changes. Say, you know what? I'm not only going to go for a walk once a summer. I'm gonna start walking. Walking to my mailbox, starting to walk around my block. You start small so that you can create that higher and higher barrier of stress and anxiety and overwhelm in your life. But just commit to the process. And there's a lot of value, there's a lot of lessons you can learn in hiking. But years ago, we live near in Utah, all of the schools and universities and stuff, they put their school letters up on the mountain. And I was hiking the Y Mountain in Provo, Utah with my 2 little boys at the time. Now they're bigger than I am. But I learned a couple of things from watching them. My older son had been up the mountain previous. And the way that the path goes, there's a ridge right in the middle, and you start to take the path to the south side of the ridge, and they can see their Y. It was literally a Y on the mountain, right? They start going off and you can't see the letter on the mountain anymore until you reach almost the top. Our younger son was dragging his feet and he's like, I think we're going the wrong way. We're totally going the wrong way. And my older son said, no, I've been up the trail before. I know this is the right way. And he was all happy and stuff. As soon as our younger son could see the letter, he turned into Usain Bolt, the fastest man on the planet. And he runs the last 100 yards over, and he's taken pictures of himself up on this mountain. The other thing is, I know that when you are climbing a mountain, when you're on flat ground, you're walking like this, right? When that mountain goes up, you still have to stay vertical. You have to lean into the mountain. If you're leaned away, you're going to fall, you're going to tumble, you're going to get hurt. So lean into the adversity, lean into the challenge, and you'll get to what you want to create.
I love it. Lean into Love Yourself to Health Challenge, you guys. We're excited to start on Monday. We're excited that you're here and that you're ready to work on yourself. So have a great night, you guys. Love you. We'll see you on Monday morning. Bye.